Sometimes leaving your children with somebody you trust could not be the right thing to do. This is 20-year-old Aleisa Owens, who is currently sitting in the Lawrence County Jail for the unaliving of an 18-month-old child. The child was taken to the hospital where she survived for a few days before losing her life, and during the autopsy they found several different chemicals in her body. And after a thorough investigation, that's when police realized that the person who unalived it was Aleisa Owens, who wasn't the mother of the child, but actually the girlfriend of the father's. So let's go ahead and take a dive into this case and try to determine what type of killer this woman actually was. This is 18-month-old Iris Alfera, who is a child of Emily Alfera, and her father was Bailey Jacoby. Now, even though the couple were not together, Bailey actually had parental rights, so he actually had visitation where the child would stay with him from time to time. Now, Bailey Jacoby actually lived in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, where he was living with Aleisa Owens for the past, let's say, a year and some change. Now, on June 25th, 2023, Bailey Jacoby had went to the store because he felt he needed to grab a couple of things. And during that time period, Iris was staying with him because it was during one of his visitation periods. And while he was gone, he received an urgent phone call from Aleisa saying that he needed to return home because Iris was unresponsive. Now, Jacoby, on the other hand, he rushed as quickly as possibly can back to his house. And when he got there, he saw that his daughter was unresponsive and called 911, where they took her to Jameson Hospital for treatment. But an hour later, she was airlifted to the Children's Hospital over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And shortly later, Iris Alfera had passed away 4 days later. Now, authorities believe this was a tragic accident because Owens' story was that Iris had cramped up and had hit her head when she fell off the bed. But shortly later, when they got an autopsy back, they realized that her blood had acetone in it, which is the main ingredient used in nail polish remover. Now, during an autopsy of the child's body, they found over 20 water beads, several button-shaped batteries, and a metal screw in her stomach. Now, after their findings of this, they immediately put Aleisa Owens under investigation, where after doing a thorough search of her phone, they found several incriminating websites that she visited. After a thorough search of her phone, they have found that she had visited websites looking up information on beauty products that are poisonous to children, as well as medication that are the leading cause of death in children. And during their investigation, they kind of found out that Owens has been planning this out for months, ever since February of 2023. Now, some of you may be wondering what kind of person would do something like this. And based on the information that's available and was able to gather, it turns out that what Aleisa Owens committed was known as unwanted child filicide. And what that entails is if a parent or a partner feels that the child is impeding a desired relationships, what they would do is they would purposely set about to get rid of the child, where they would coldly and calculate, come up with a plan to eliminate that child. Now, an example of unwanted child filicide would be Diane Downs, who had unalived one of her children and attempted murder on 2 of her children, all because she wanted to be with a guy who did not want children in his life. Another example of that would be 18-year-old Jasmine Paez, who back in July of 2023 had used the parody website Rent a Hitman to try to unalive her child because the boyfriend she wanted didn't want a child as well either. Now, Aleisa Owens is currently being held without bond at the Lawrence County Jail, where during her hearing with the judge, he had listed a series of charges that she is facing, which is murder, attempted murder, aggravated assault on a child, and other offenses such as conduct leading to the death of a child, as well as other offenses against abuse of a child as well too. And during her court hearing, she sat there dry-eyed and emotionless while the judge read off her charges. Now, police did not arrest Bailey Jacoby because there are no evidence that points that he had any kind of connection to his child's death, nor did he have any knowledge or any involvement in the death of his own child. Now, cases like these are heartbreaking and hard to fathom because who would want to deliberately take these steps to take the life of a helpless child, all for their self-desires? So try to show the family some support and hope that they get the justice that they deserved.